there. So today I'm outside for a change, and I hope I'm not bothering my neighbors, but we're going to talk about the facial features of EDS. But first, I want to tell a little story. I posted my last video about my stomach on Facebook, and my aunt actually commented that she had heard from her grandmother that a great uncle had a problem where he could only eat a pea-size amount of food. And eventually he grew tired of it and decided to sit down to a huge steak and potatoes and died. So I guess it runs in the family, clearly. Now the facial features. So 2 nights ago, I was eating a tortilla chip and I dislocated the left side of my jaw. The first time that happened to me, it was an almond that I was eating, and the doctor said that my disc shot out of your jaw is like a bone here and then a bone over here, and you have a disc in between. The disc had shot out, and there was nothing. It was just like bone against bone, but it was hanging. And that's how it felt 2 nights ago. So what I have to do is sort of Van Damme it back into place. I have to put my hand here and a hand here and go crang as hard as I can. And then it really hurts for a while, but it's better by, say, the next morning. But I didn't get any sleep that night because of the pain. So, yeah. With the other things with the mouth, like I have clearly TMJ. And when I open my mouth, like you can probably see when I talk to the side. Because if I try to open my mouth straight, it just cracks and cracks and cracks. So, like that, you probably can't hear it, but it's like crazy cracking and painful. And I've had that. I got diagnosed with TMJ when I was 10. So I knew I had that. But the dislocations are kind of new and awful. So then the eyes. Common with EDS are big eyes, which you can see. But also there are other effects in your eyes. Like a lot of people with EDS are very, very nearsighted. They have severe myopia. And it gets worse. 10 years ago, my prescription was -2. I don't actually know what that means, but that's what it was. And now it's -4.75. So it's definitely getting worse. Luckily, it can still be corrected with glasses, and everything's okay in that department. But you also have severely dry eyes, which I didn't understand for a long time because my eyes are always watering. But that's because your tear ducts are manufacturing tears to wet your eyes. Another thing is strabismus, which is just wandering of the eyes. And I have that definitely. There are a lot of photographs of me, like on Facebook and things, where I'm totally wall-eyed, like looking right at the camera and wall-eyed. So I try to sort of turn away just in case that's an issue. And then when I get tired, my eyes cross. So, and then, let's see what else. There's, your ears. People with EDS often have really, really soft ears. Like, I don't know if this is normal, but I can totally, like, bend every little piece of my ear up into itself. And, actually, my mom never let me get pierced ears. And when I was 15 at boarding school, I pierced my own ears with a safety pin and a lighter. And now that I look back, I realize I probably wouldn't have been able to do that if I didn't have EDS, but the tissue is so soft that it just went straight through. And another thing, the other facial things are sometimes people have a thin nose and thin lips. I don't really have thin lips, and I don't have a thin nose, but my dad had a super Irish, cool guy nose, so maybe it would have been not as thin if I didn't have EDS. Who knows? But there's low muscle tone on people with EDS. So, and this sounds weird to say, but I went to the conference and I saw tons of women with EDS, and many of them were very, very thin. That happens a lot with EDS. And they still had boobs. Like, everybody's got big boobs. So I guess that has to do with it, the fat content or whatever. But when I was a kid, that godforsaken presidential fitness test, they would post the results from that test, and all the kids would see it. And I'll get into that in another video, but as far as the fat pincher test, I was a skinny kid. I was a skinny little kid, and I always got over 35% body fat. And they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me, but they would just make fun of me. I mean, the teachers would make fun of me. And even as an adult, I was going to a nutritionist for a while. I was 90 pounds lighter than I am now, so I was way underweight. and they tested my body fat, and it was still above 30%. So that's definitely an EDS thing. I guess that's all I have for now. So if you have any comments, if you guys have other manifestations that are visible on the outside, please let me know. Comment. I would love to hear more of your questions and thoughts. Thank you. Bye.